Long ago, in a quiet village somewhere in the southern part of Nigeria, there lived a boy named Ifyok. A village where everyone knew everyone and secrets never lasted long. In that village, if you stole a goat today, by tomorrow, even unborn children would hear about it. But poverty was the loudest thing in that land. As a young boy, Ifyok knew hardship before happiness. There was no money, no opportunities, just farms, palm wine, and stories told under moonlight to distract hungry stomachs. Sometimes Ifyok would lie on his mat at night, staring at the stars, wondering, is this all my life will ever be? His mother worked endlessly on the farm. His father died early. Dreams were considered a luxury. Then one day, everything changed. One dusty afternoon, a car drove into the village. People gathered. It was Ifyok's uncle, back from Lagos. Clothes neat, shoes shining, confidence walking ahead of him. That night, his uncle said, Ifyok, pack your things. Lagos is not for lazy people, but I see fire in your eyes. And just like that, Ifyok left the village. No celebration, no farewell feast, just hope and fear. Lagos did not welcome Ifyok with open arms. He slept on cold floors, worked jobs that broke his back, was insulted, cheated, ignored. Some nights, hunger cried louder than tears. Many times, he almost returned home. But Ifyok told himself, I will not go back a failure. So he continued working. Years passed. Slowly, pain turned into progress. He got a stable job, then another, then a business. And that was when Jane entered his life. Jane was beautiful, soft-spoken, always praying, always smiling. She looked like answered prayers. They got married. Soon, 2 boys followed. Ifyok believed he had one life. God has been good to me. But he didn't know.
But I don't want him to
Some
wake up.
prayers
Just
hide
listen carefully,
monsters.
okay? It's
Behind the
important.
quietness, behind the prayers, Jane had a secret. Marriage did not change her hunger. It only made it hidden. Whenever Ifyok traveled, I'm going to the gym, she would tell the maid. But hotels knew her name. Different men, different rooms. Sometimes she targeted Ifyok's friends, and those who fell into her trap, she kept them silent forever. Fear sealed their mouths. One afternoon, Jane walked out of a hotel room and froze. Standing before her was Ayo, Ifyok's close friend. A man she once tried to seduce, but failed. Ayo went home worried. He had seen so much and kept so much from his friend. That evening, Ayo called Ifyok. Meet me at the lounge. Come alone. When both men met, they chatted on various topics that made them laugh so much until Ayo asked the question that changed the atmosphere. Do you remember the deity in your village you always told me about? Ekpo Nka-Owo. Silence followed. Mr. Ifyok laughed. Yes, I do. Adulterous women fear it so much. Does your wife know about this deity? Ayo asked again. My wife? We all know my wife is a praying woman who doesn't believe in things like this. Why do you ask? But Ayo said nothing. Are you suggesting my wife is cheating? And then Ayo narrated it all to Ifyok, who went home and could not stop thinking about all Ayo said to him. One night, while the couple were in bed, worried Ifyok asked, Baby, are you cheating on me? But Jane would look at him laughing. What ridiculous question, she would say. You know me, babe, I would never do a thing like that. But Ifyok could not stop thinking. He had known Ayo all so long, he would never say what he was not sure of. Days later, Baby, we are going to the village this Christmas. Jane was excited. New clothes, expensive fabrics, village Christmas. She wanted to show them she had arrived. When they did arrive the village, Jane abused and mocked the women who were not wearing good enough clothes. And on occasions when she met some in the market, she would laugh at the small fish they could afford to buy. The villagers started preparing for the celebration. They cooked various food and prepared the drums. Then came Christmas Day. The entire village gathered, drummers drumming and dancers dancing as the masquerade chased children. It was the kind of Christmas everyone would like, except adulterous women who could not stop thinking about the cup. As it got to the time when the wooden cup of Ekpo Nka-Owo will go round, Ifyok held his wife's hands in fear. He did not want to cause a scene or get her embarrassed. Quietly, he repeated his question and asked his wife if she had ever cheated on him. But just as the first time, she reassured him that she would never do a thing like that. Every wife must drink from the cup. As it reached Jane, she put the cup on her lips. The cup touched her lips. She drank and smiled, believing all these were just rumors. They returned to Lagos. Nothing happened. Jane mocked him and threatened to leave the marriage. Out of frustration, Ifyok visited Ayo and they were both involved in a fight. Ifyok accused him of trying to ruin his marriage and called him awful names. Just a few nights after the fight, Jane woke up screaming. She screamed so loudly. Her leg was swollen, pain unbearable. She had no choice but to confess. They rushed her back to the village. The same women she insulted cleansed her and helped in her recovery process. She recovered, but the marriage did not. Ifyok divorced her. He apologized to his friend Ayo and learnt a painful lesson. But even if Ayo forgave him, he promised himself he would never say anything concerning anyone's marriage, no matter what he saw. Jane later fought to destroy the deity. For her, it was against women and was biased. But the village remained. The city did not save Jane. The village did not destroy Ifyok. The truth will always rise. No matter how far you run, no matter how well you hide, the cup of truth never lies.